1935 to Walter and Alice Grove in Springdale, Arkansas. She passed from this life on March 30th, 2018, surrounded by her family at the age of 82 years, 4 months, and 6 days. Dorene was married to John Samuel Blumer in Canadian, Texas on August 9th, 1957. And to this union, 5 children, Elaine, Lee, Wesley, Shara, and Carla were born. The couple made their home in Seiling, where Dorene worked at England's grocery store and later as a cook for the Seiling Hospital. However, her main occupation was being a mother and homemaker for her family.
When I think about Dorene, I of course think about John. And I did a little bit of look because I was the one who got to speak at John's memorial service. He died at 68 years of age, 6 months and 27 days. Wow. His passing was 23 years ago, family. I know you realize that. If he had remained alive today, he would be 92. And it's amazing how age changes in our minds, isn't it? John and Dorene were married August 9th. Pastor, you've already read this information. Just a little bit of 2 miles south of Cestus, they lived. And Elaine and Lee and Wes and Shara and Carla. By the way, that's probably today's probably one of the few times that your full names were disclosed unless Mother was mad at you. So I kind of knew that name, but I never called you by all those names, so we'll leave that alone. So Rita and Sally and Randy and Ken and John and Carrie and Jonathan and Jesse and John and Michaela and Michael and Heather Bear and others. We've had a great relationship over the years, and how honored Rebecca and I are to be here today with you, as we've been on other days also. I've had in my office for many years these little pieces of wheat. Family, you may not recognize it, but it was from your dad's casket piece at his memorial service. And I asked if I could take some, because sometimes pastors are known as stealing flowers off the graves for their wife. I just didn't want to put that on my wife, but anyway. I guess I've always felt that today I would have this opportunity. It wasn't ever really requested per se, but I guess somewhere in my heart I knew that if I were alive and well and young enough, that maybe the family would ask me to share something. I've got a lot of stories, and I didn't write any of them down. Aren't you glad? Because you have stories also. In fact, we spent a few minutes talking about those days that we were there. In fact, Rebecca and I just felt like we were kind of adopted into the family. Lokis, thank you for being pastors and friends, of course, before you were pastors and all the years that
river to where my faith shall end inside. There's no more time to toil or labor. Because I've taken my heavenly flight. Can you sing it with me? Pure sing because I'm free, for his eyes on the sparrow, and I know he watches me.
But she was serious about serving God. She was serious about telling others about God. Just approximately 6 or 8 months ago, we had a young lady come from Jay, Oklahoma here she's a missionary to the orphan children and the foster children, and she came to our church, and we were talking, and she told me, she said, Brother Elam, she said, do you have a lady here named Dorene? And I said, we surely do. And she said, I want to talk to her. I've got to meet her. And she said, the reason why, she said, I'm here because of her. She said that back before she was ever thought of, her grandmother lived across the street from Sister Blumer. Sister Blumer went over one day and told her grandmother, said, you need God in your heart. And she led her to Christ. And because of that, Erica Blankenship, the young lady I'm talking about, told me that her parents were preachers. I think that her grandparents were preachers. She was a preacher, and I don't know how many other, just from that one witness, how many crowns, how many stones, how many jewels she has in the crown that she's going to lay at Jesus' feet one day. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And then I was talking to one of the daughters at the hospital, and I asked him, I said, what's your favorite remembrance of your mother? And she said, Brother Elam, there's so many of them, she said, and I'm kind of at a loss right now, but she said, the one thing I remember was when my mother heard of somebody moving into the Seiling area, we all packed up, and we went out there and invited them to church, asked them if they was saved and wanted to come to the Lord, and she said, she invited all of them, and she took us with her. So we learned how to do it. I think we need some more of that kind of instruction. But she was a great witness. She was a great testimony. And her homecoming, she did not live for this world. She lived for the one to come. And I will tell you this, she had a great homecoming a few days ago. She's still, I'm sure she's still in the arms of Jesus. She's still rejoicing. She's not sick any longer. She is not.
There we go.
You feel lost. He's a waymaker. Hey guys. Hey everyone. The present check is
My boys sing. Hayden's in.